start doing this again. Hello!
Hello.
I am just about to record me playing Gran Turismo 6 for a while.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I think I'm better at commentating than I was the first time I tried. Would you like to join me?
I'll poke my head in, but probably not on a long-term basis.
Alright.
So what are you gonna, you're recording yourself playing GT6?
Yep.
What part of it?
Just the races
Oh.
in general.
How are you recording? Just, you mean when it says, oh. Charlie, you're not to. You're not to.
Alright, let's see if this one goes well. I think I pressed record. Yep. I think I ended in the right place.
Oh, I have to go find Mom because I haven't seen her yet.
Alright.
I'm off.
Well, the cars in this cars in this race are basically like identical name-wise. So I've just done this race in the same car, but just for like a different event. It was the GT500 and this is the GT300. And I'm doing it in the Nissan GTR R35. Oh boy, this is herky-jerky. Okay. So the thing about this car, as opposed to the cars that I'm used to, is that it seems to like accelerate the steering. It doesn't, oh boy. Stakes are higher in this race, I see. This is wild. This is not something I had to deal with in the previous race. Anyway, the thing about this car is that its steering seems to accelerate, meaning that the controls get better as you keep holding the steering thing, the controller, the joystick, to whichever side you're steering. And so basically that means that I have to correct for that a lot, because I don't think it's something that I've experienced in many of the other cars that I've used. And as you can see, I'm okay at correcting for it, but this is like my second time ever using this car outside of the GTR Maestro's Cup, which is what I bought it for. But this car is more well fitted to this race as opposed to the previous cars that I was using, which were primarily like the Caterham. I don't remember the name. I just know that it's not the Caterham Superlight. Oh dear. So my previous record for this race is a jaw-dropping 14th place out of 16, which is, I think, lower than where you start. And I don't remember why it was so bad. Oh dear. Because I know I was using a car that I could control. I don't know, I assume I just wasn't controlling it in the moment. Oh dear. I don't like sand. Insert Star Wars reference. If you listen closely, you can hear my controller just rattling around. I suppose you don't have to listen all that close. It's quite loud. But yep, this is how I drive I know what I'm doing enough to win races, but I don't know enough about what I'm doing to actually improve my game in a meta sort of way. Like, I can improve how well I play the game, just normally, that's what I always do, but I don't know enough about the game or about this controller to improve the way I learn it. Like, I just use the standard controls, accelerate, brake, left, right, but there's a whole host of controls that I don't use. For example, stuff like, I know that you are able to change the amount of traction control that's going to the car in the middle of a race just by using a control on the controller. But like, I don't have enough brain cells to control that. I only have enough brain cells to set the traction control system at the start of the race, and then hope that it's going to last me, or hope that it's going to work for me for the rest of the race. God, why? I actually decided to record this because I had sort of an epiphany while driving the KTM crossbow, which is that if you took a 10-second video clip of my hands on the controller coupled with like the game video and the car's reactions, I would never in a million years be able to explain why exactly I made those particular motions. Like, it's 90% subconscious at this point. Which means that, unlike in my first GT6 video, where I got distracted quite a bit and crashed, now I'm mostly capable of commentating while racing, because racing is second nature to me, which is a stupid way of putting it. Oh god. Oh, that was especially terrible. Oh, that's right, that's what the GTR Nismo did well, it was the acceleration. How could I have forgotten? Anyway, back to the point. I'm much better at playing the game now. Like, it's 90% subconscious for me, all the controls. I couldn't tell you consciously what I'm doing. But you can tell I'm doing something just by hearing it. And like, in particular in that race, where I had the epiphany, which is a word that makes it sound a lot more important and fluffed up than it really is. I noticed that in a section where I was meant to brake, I had applied a tiny bit of gas in the middle, and I was in particular confounded by that. I had no idea why I did it, but clearly there was a reason for it. I don't know, I just think it's really interesting. And as you can see, I'm doing a whole lot better than I was in the first video. Like, I'm actually winning this one. Dear God, I'm in lap 4. Oh, dear God. I'm in lap 4 out of 5. And I've been commentating almost the entire time, and I haven't crashed much. And I'm not getting frustrated, so this is definitely progress for me. I rarely go out into that concrete strip there, so that was sort of an undereducated risk. But I mean, I've got a fairly comfortable lead, and I am the only one, of course, who actually uses the shortcuts. My God, look at those times. Like, up in the top right, the lap times, they're extremely consistent. Like, lap 2 and lap 4 are less than a second of difference. That's really impressive, actually. I still don't like this car though. Like, it's a pretty good car for this particular race, but I wouldn't use it by choice. Like, if I could pick any car at all, this is not the one that I would pick. Although, I agree that, like, picking an actual GT300 car for a GT300 race was a better choice than I was anticipating. Because I'd always thought, hey, I've got cars that turn really well, and I can turn really well with them. And this has a lot of turning, so I'm just going to use that car instead. But no, this car actually works way better for the track. And you can tell because I don't remember if I mentioned this, but my current record for this track is 14th place, and I'm first place, and boop, there we go, a victory. God, the other car names are just meaningless letters and numbers to me. I really couldn't care less the difference between a GTR R35 touring car and a GTR Nismo and a GTR 35 07R coupe. I really don't know what the difference is between them, and I don't care. Oh, sleepy. What else can I do? I decided not to do the NASCAR Cup. Just because NASCAR sucks. High octane, close quarters thrills, more like if you hit a pebble you lose. Because I am not. I'm too monkey brain to do such incredibly fine movements. I know how to do sharp turns well. I don't know how to do straights well, particularly when my car is identical to every other car, which is the point of NASCAR. Before we go, I'm going to do this. That was crap. I'm going to pick a very important car, and you shall see why it is very important. It's a beginner race, but I can almost guarantee that I will lose. And there is a very simple reason for this. I'm going to leave it a little bit of a surprise. Actually, not a little bit. I'm just not going to tell you anything about it until hurry up. There we go. That's the bitch. I truly believe that I have managed to create the absolute worst tuning of a car known to man. It's got no, like, dear God, no weight upgrades, like no body upgrades. Jesus, I keep forgetting how shite this is. It's got no body upgrades. It's got severe camber, and also that thing that like points a car's wheels in or out by default, which I don't I think it's called toe angle, but like I've got it set so that it's got the highest steering sensitivity possible, which is the front wheels either all the way in or all the way out, I don't remember which, and then the back wheels are the opposite of that. You might also be able to see I do not have traditional race car wheels on this. Instead, what I have is like 50s round steel wheels painted with a color shift paint, which is absolutely hideous. And also the front wheels are racing soft and the back are sports hard. And come to think of it, I should really buy some comfort hard ones for the back just to make it even worse. I gave the same treatment to my Toyota RSC, and I did a run with my dad playing in that really curvy section of big famous German racetrack, what's it called? Nürburgring. In the very curvy section of Nürburgring, I drove the RSC, which is basically a bowling ball, and he drove this one. And every time we turned, we would flip. And the best thing about it was that they each have their own little quirks. Like, as I said, the RSC is basically a bowling ball. So if I managed to ram him, he was absolutely going off the track, no question about it, as well as flipping over. But the problem for me was that, unlike the Subaru Impreza, the RSC, with its stupid tires, I'm not sure exactly why, but unlike the Impreza, it can't drive in sand. By which I mean, it drives as well as most cars do in sand, like 19 miles an hour tops. Dear God. Whereas this thing drives perfectly well in sand, since it's like a born rally car. Which is weird since like sports hard and racing soft. Anyway, it was quite fun. I think it was the best race that we've ever done. I debated taking a video of a run using this car and posting it online with a title like "Uh-oh Sisters" or something. And I never got around to it because I couldn't figure out how to export the video. And I didn't want to do exactly what I'm doing now, which is to record the screen again. This is interminable. It just keeps going. I've pretty much run out of commentary already. Oh my god. It's the best when you get a really good hard turn and then you can roll like 6 or 7 times. I'll see how fast I can get this going before plonk. Oh, come on. You can do better than that. That was what, like 3.5, 3.25 flips? Boring. Oh, I think I have a unique opportunity here. Shite. Oh my god. So as you can see, this thing does drive comparatively well in the sand. It's still not as good as if it were in an actual sand track. Oh god. Oh, what fun. I'm gonna finish this race and then I'm gonna end the recording. How the hell did I not get 6th place?